Hi, today we're going to make Mexican casserole, one of our favorites. It's very simple, and I highly suggest that you make some rice with it to supplement. I usually put the rice on the bottom of the plate and then this meal over it. It makes the meal go way further. Okay, so let's get started. First thing we do is we get some chicken tenders. I take the time to chop up my tenders so they're in small chunks. All right, you don't have to do that. If you're in a hurry, just get those individually frozen chicken tenders from the store. Spread them out. Okay, do not stack the tenders on top of each other. Just make like a puzzle, one layer deep, and then you can just pour your salsa and the rest of your ingredients over that. If you wanted to get it like this, you could just put the chicken in, one layer deep first, put the lid on, wait till it clicks, turn it off, and then go ahead and lift it up with a pair of tongs and scissors and cut it in chunk-sized bits. Drain out the water from the chicken, spread it out, and then continue on, okay? So right now, I'm going to put in 38 ounces of salsa. I use paste chunky salsa, or you can use your own. So pour it over. So this one is 24, this one is 16. So I'm just going to hold a little bit back for some chips later. Okay, there we go. Next thing, black beans. I go ahead and I put this in a strainer, and then I rinse it all off, let it dry out, and then I just pour it in. You could spread it out, okay? Then some green chilies. Just one can. By the way, the black beans was 2 cans of black beans, about 15 and a half ounces each can. Spreading it out. And people are always very surprised that I'm not using any kind of, spices or whatnot, and it tastes so flavorful. Okay, next we have frozen corn. This is a 10-ounce bag. Okay. Again, we spread it out, nice and even. It's okay, this is for my family, so they won't mind so much. And I did wash my hands. Okay, and then the last thing is I use white corn tortillas. And then, you could spread it out, just the tortillas over the top here. I like to chop them up. Okay, and then you put your lid on, set it to 350. When the vapor valve clicks, turn it down to 175, set your timer for 30 minutes, and voila, you've got a great tasting meal. And so now we're going to do the toppings for the meal. Today we're doing cheese and onion, but there's other great toppings too. You can do guacamole, you can do sour cream, whatever your heart desires. So, I have the #1 cone on my food processor, and I have my cheddar cheese. If I push lightly, not heavy, then it comes out much, much finer. I'm going to do all 8 ounces of this cheese. Put it on the meal later, it'll just melt in. The next topping is going to be onion. Now, some people like the #3 cone for onions, like my wife, but I like the #2 cone because I like it finer. I don't like the big chunks. Okay? So, what you do is, you take your onion and you cut it off at the end. We call it the North Pole and the South Pole. And then you cut it in half from those poles, from where you cut to where you cut. All right? And then you place the onion flat side against the food processor. That way it won't unravel when it cuts. And then you just cut it right into the bowl. Don't you love this? This is so easy. We keep it on our counter because we use it all the time. Okay. So what you do is you just put these in some kind of a bowl that you want to serve it in, or these are nice enough to serve it in. And when your meal is done, and serve it with the meal, and it is one of the tastiest meals. So the nice thing about doing a frozen to finish or a 5-minute recipe is that you can put your protein, the chicken, raw meat, whatever you're using, in with the vegetables, and it'll all cook together and there won't be any cross-contamination. And for our plant-based customers, or somebody who might be fasting, what you can do is substitute chickpeas for the chicken. It'll give you the protein you need, and I'll tell you what, it doesn't change the flavor at all. All right? So try that.